Good morning, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Let's take a quick look and see what is going on with Bitcoin. So, for the day, we had a massive move up. I hope you guys were able to take advantage of this. So, in general, to kind of review here, I drew this out, right? And I guess it is lower. I thought it was going to be up higher, but it's using mostly the candle bodies here. And we did get that breakout. We're getting that breakout right now. So, the question now becomes, how high do we go? I am expecting at least some sort of pullback today. I don't want to see it keep expanding up. The higher that we move up for today, just know that tomorrow there is a potential that we get a reversal, okay? I do not want to see this move extremely, basically I don't want to see this move thousands of dollars up today. There's no Fed folders. There's nothing really today to cause this type of price movement. I think that there was unemployment claims, which is like an orange folder, but there's nothing else really that would trigger that. So I am a little bit nervous about tomorrow. Not gonna lie, if we do get this expansive move up today, tomorrow could get ugly and get down into, testing weekly open again, potentially even, if not lower. So I'm a little bit nervous for that. That being said, obviously this is an amazing move up. You're still going to probably see 80,491 being used as resistance on the bigger time frames. So just keep a lookout for that. However, this measured move does tell us that we could potentially get up to 84,000-ish area. So ideally, we kind of consolidate within this range for today between 78,751 and 80,491, and then get that huge expansive move up tomorrow. The other scenario is going to be, basically consolidating within the range of 80,491 to 82,429. That's another potential, right? So if we were to do that, just be aware that, there is still that possibility that we could basically get a blow off top tomorrow. All right, so let's take a real quick look and kind of see what we can expect for the remainder of the day. Again, I hope you guys were able to take some profitable trades this morning. I got a couple of scalps in, so this was really nice. I didn't really get that discount that I wanted, right? I didn't get that discount into this range that I wanted, which is okay. I mean, it's going to happen. This would have been a great bottom for you to buy right here, this specific candle when we hit weekly open. That would have been a great bottom, and then you could have just rode that all the way up for a few $1,000s. So congrats to whoever was able to take profit. Again, if you guys were short, don't worry about it. This was a very, very tricky move, especially this was kind of a rising wedge pattern, and they don't break up that often, only in very bullish times. So that kind of tells you kind of what, on the macro, kind of what profile we're looking at, right? We're looking at more of a major kind of bullish profile. We're getting that expansive move up. Let's take a real quick look at the 8 hour. So the 8 hour, obviously we waited for price action to come close with the 21, got that expansive move up. 10 hour kind of did the same thing. So again, guys, for today, just look for 80,491 to be an area of, overhead resistance as of right now. We're not able to really pass that. That could be used, potentially as kind of maybe an area for tomorrow for us to get past, right? And at least start getting that expansive move up. As long as we can consolidate within this range today. Like I said, I don't want it to expand up any further than it already has. Let's see, taking a look at the 4 hour. So, this was kind of messy, right? I guess this basically, let's draw some new lines here. This was kind of like a falling wedge, obviously, and I had drawn this out a while ago, but it extended out longer, essentially. And now that's finally breaking up. Let's see what that measured move is. So that measured move takes you to where? So about 82K, 82,429. So yeah, 82K, 82.5-ish area is going to be our target for the day. Actually for this week, I would say for the end of the month. Potentially we can get that blow off top, and if we do, expect 84,151 next, and then even up to like I said, the yearly open, which will be a magnet around 87,624. All right, taking a look at the 1 hour, you kind of had that nice inverted head and shoulders there. That is kind of a complex inverted head and shoulders that we got that played out. Took out, kind of making these cat ears now, so just kind of be careful with that type of pattern. Definitely do not recommend shorting this, obviously, because we're in such a strong uptrend. So again, highly recommended, not financial advice, but to just look for your discounts, right? Look for your discounts to get into longs again. Personally, I'm probably going to be targeting pulling from this wick. Let's see, up to here. So my theory would be possibly testing this 78,751 level again. That's going to be where I'm going to be looking for an entry right around 78,800 for right now. I'll probably, honestly, it's going to be kind of risky. I may ladder this, put an entry here, put an entry down here in case we do get down here. I'm not too confident in it as of right now. I would probably just hold it until the end of August. Just to see if we can get that blow off top. But again, it's going to be very, very high risk. Do not follow me unless you know what you're doing. Extremely high risk type of trade, but that might be kind of something I would be looking for as a bigger trade potentially. Taking out some of these lows right here, and then possibly, if we do get down here for the Jackson Hole event the second day, maybe, an entry down here as well to see if we can get that bounce. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and discuss some price levels here to watch. So again, guys, all of my lines are extremely valid. 80,491 is going to be our overhead resistance for right now. 82,429 is going to be our target for right now as far as kind of a semi-blow-off top, followed by 84,151 if we can get up this high. To the downside, you're going to be targeting around 78,751, so somewhere around here. Followed by, if we do breach this level, I am expecting a decent drop. So, probably between 77,710 to 77,421 would be my next area I would be targeting. And then obviously absolute worst case scenario, you're getting into these order blocks down here. Okay. All right, guys, that being said, let's take a look at liquidity, see what's happening there. So let me go ahead and refresh this here. So our 4 hour, right? 4 hour is basically getting that move up. We're looking to test this 82,000-ish area. Whether or not we get there today is a bigger question that's up in the air. I'm hoping for a somewhat of a retracement, at least into the 78,800-ish area for right now. Just so I can get in a line with price, I'm going to enter somewhere around here as my first entry and then possibly get in off the top of this area down here if we do get down here. All right, let me take a look at the 1 hour. So the 1 hour, we got past this liquidity, which could have been used as resistance. So that's a very strong bullish sign. Getting into this area up here. So it's going to be interesting to see, guys, how price reacts to this area up here. It's going to be very, very, it's kind of sketchy up here. You don't have a lot of liquidity, and we're going to be basically blasting through this all-time high right here, potentially, if we were to keep moving up. So possible cat ears up here. We'll have to take a look and wait and see if we can get up there today. If not, like I said, the 78,800 area is where I'm going to be targeting. That is kind of front-running this down here. I believe that this has 50x. Nope, not 50x. So 50x checked off just has it down to 78,351. 100x on the 1 hour has it down to 78.5-ish area. So 78.8 will be front-running it. I believe that there was an area of liquidity on the 15-minute, which there is. There's even some closer to us here, around 79,800-ish area. So, yeah, I'm targeting this down here. This could be a possible entry as well. Just keep in mind that you are going to be front-running, the bigger area of liquidity down here. So, there's a risk that this is just going to fall through, especially because we went so high today. This is going to be strong overhead resistance. We got two big areas of liquidity up above. So 81,000 to 81,400 is going to be pretty hard probably for us to get above. 50x. So 50x shows that we can, even get up to 82,000-ish area. I don't know, guys. This is going to be very interesting. I'm very curious what the event tomorrow is going to cause, because that's the major red folders for this week. So there's a potential that we do one of two things. If we do get that continued move up today, like I was warning you guys about, we're probably going to see a dump tomorrow, However, if we can get a downward consolidation today for the rest of the day, even down to this area around 79,800-ish area, then there is a potential that we can basically get that blow off top tomorrow, and kind of end our August well here. So I'm kind of expecting the latter. I'm hoping that we do kind of get a downward consolidation today. I do not want to see us keep moving up today. But that being said, that's kind of my perspective, kind of what I've seen in the market, with my years of experience. Not to say that that's going to happen, but that's kind of what I'm looking at for right now. Let's see. So as far as the 5 minute goes, yeah, I mean 79.6 is going to be kind of your bottomish for the time being. Like I said, this could roll over, right, and get into the 78.8 area and then 78.5. And then worst case scenario, if you lose 78.5, guys, that's like critical. You're just going to roll through all of this liquidity probably, at least down to 76.5, if not further. So 70.85 is going to be crucial for us to hold. I would like to see a lot of this liquidity, get taken out maybe in September through the 70K range. I mean, this is a lot. So that's kind of what's sketchy, guys, is that, you're getting into a point where you're at one point going to see a rollover. And this is what's scary, is that if you lose this, I mean, we have it all the way down even to 72. So you're talking, $7,000-8,000 move just straight down probably that we're going to see. And who knows, that could be from, some sort of roll event that they make up, or, something that they put out into the news. We don't know. But usually that will be caused by something. It'll probably be related to some sort of war news, is my guess. If we were to get that move down in September. I'm not expecting it for this month. I don't think it's going to happen for this month, but definitely have a lot of bridges and things to take out for September. All right, guys, that being said, let's go ahead and take a quick look at our order book over here, see what's happening over here. So took out all of these areas of liquidity, even took out, wow, we even took out kind of this, what would be, I would consider a support area. And let's see if it's going to get that reversal now, because this is technically, when you have two orders in a row, it usually is used as support, or sorry, resistance in this case. So this would be a resistance point. So let's see if we get that rollover now, since we took these two out, and they were multi-million-dollar Bitcoin orders. So that's very interesting. Now, if you keep getting that move up, you can see that we have an order now at 81,550, and then leading up to 82,000 even. So definitely could see us keep that move going if it wanted to. 81K is another area that we have as overhead resistance. We just got this order to pop up. It was around 80,450. That either is going to give us a reversal, or that will give us strength to move to the downside. All right, to the downside though, you only have one order around 78,150, so that would imply that we take out majority of this all the way down to about here. All right, guys, that being said, let's go ahead and take a real quick look at our simple map, see what's going on there. So taking a look at the simple map, let me go ahead and zoom in here. All right, so you don't really have too much to the downside up until you get to about, it looks like around 79,380. It's going to be your first area of support. And then if you lose that, you can basically roll through to about 78,810, and then finally into the 78.5-ish to 78.3-ish range. And then you can basically from there roll over all the way to about 77,550-ish area. Now to the upside, your first area of overhead resistance is going to be 80,800. You get above there, you get the move to 80,960, and then you can keep getting that move up to about 81,280, and you're going to have a lot of resistance up here, basically to about 81,760. Now your swing time frames, let's see if that looks any different here. Zoom in a little bit. All right, so to the downside, guys, you're looking at 79,380 is going to be your kind of a first initial area of support. You lose that, you can basically get down to almost about 78.5-ish to 78.3-ish like we talked about, and then followed by 78.120, followed by 77.640, and then finally 77.550. Now to the upside, you're going to be first looking to get above that 80,800 area like we said. You get above there, you look at about 81,000 even. You get that follow through to about 81,280. And then basically you're going to have a lot of overhead resistance all the way up to 81,720. All right, guys, that being said, that is what I have for you for this morning. I hope you all have a wonderful and safe trading day. I hope you made some money today, and I will talk to you all later. Take care.